This webinar will be recorded. I will make the recording available after the session. The purpose of this webinar is to brief you on the current release coming up tomorrow on WorkPoint365 and WorkPoint Express. This is not going to be a thorough walkthrough of all features and functionalities, but we'll try and exemplify some of the value of the new features we were releasing. Starting with WorkPoint365, we have earlier today sent out release notes. There are some information in those as well. If you haven't had them, you can send me a mail afterwards and I'll make sure you get on the mailing list for the future releases and send you the old one. WorkPoint365 is now in with a new search feature for documents. Usually you will be able to use the search Express pane over here for elements of for modules only, but now we have added this document search feature, so you can click on this and then you can search for specifically for indexed documents. Furthermore, there is a button for refiners, so clicking on that will fold out this extra panel where you're able to refine your search on sizes and other parameters to reach your target. Obviously, we still have the advanced search function, but this should hopefully create a much easier to use interface for the users and a quicker search result. So the search feature has been enhanced. What we also have done is we have created the option of collaboration with external users. We've had this requirement for quite a few times. There have been some workarounds using Microsoft technologies, but nothing really good. Now we have taken the Azure Active Directory and business-to-business collaboration feature to use with WorkPoint. This means that you will now be able to share information on your WorkPoint solution with people outside your own organization. This is relevant, for example, with working with project stakeholders, clients, suppliers, all kind of maybe legal authorities, whoever needs to see information that or need to share information with. The system will accept these users as normal users, so in principle they could get access to everything, but it also supports the security model, so you can restrict the use of the access from the users to any number of projects or cases or other sites in the system or lists on specific sites, etc. So you can manage this and what these new users need to get access to. So hopefully this will be a help for those of you who work with external parties on your WorkPoint solution. For some time we have had the need for changing of fields in documents. Those of you using, and I assume that would be most of the users, are using the template management, will know that you can create document templates, and for Excel and Word you're able to merge data field into the documents. Now the problem can be that if you have more than one module, which everybody has, and you might want to reuse some of the templates on across the modules, you will have a problem with different field names that are merged into the document. Example could be as simple as address. If in one module address is called one name and the other place in another module is called something else, you won't be able to merge the data from across the modules. But with the common field naming feature, we can set up a common field for, say, a street address, and you can map as many different module fields to this specific field and use this specific field in the template, then you will be able to have one mail, one template used over several modules, and of course you will only have to maintain this one template instead of 3 or 4. So this will save some time, especially if you're working a lot with templates. Also, apart from the external users, we have also created a feature for having limited users. Now, we have experienced sometimes that organizations tend to have users that need limited action or little interaction with WorkPoint, but still have the need for having access to WorkPoint to add information or to retrieve information, mostly the latter. This could be organizations with blue-collar workers that are out in the field or in the factory, but they need to have quality information or other things that they need to access from WorkPoint. Previously, you would have had to have a full user for that, which would be overkill in those situations. Now we have created the option for acquiring limited users with limited functionality, but with the ability to read and do certain things in the system. And these users comes at a lower price than full users, so that will overall lower the price for the solution if you want to roll it out to the entire, let's say, factory or other things where you have people working with the need for information, but they don't need to be full users. So that's another add-on. We have improved the task list in WorkPoint, so now you have the ability to view your tasks in a more organized way. So it's especially for where you have timelines and projects and things like that. You will need to have your task organized in a easy to view way. You can use the timeline feature in SharePoint to view these tasks. You can have them in an embedded view, and you can even edit the task, complete the tasks straight through the tab web, which you'll see here in the bottom. So having a set of tasks, having them embedded views, being able to edit them on the fly and present the tasks in a timeline view. That's is the new features. So it makes a much easier overview for the user to see the task and to manage the tasks. One of the core features of WorkPoint is the master site idea. Those of you who are not familiar with it, the master sites are the basic for the basic of all the modules. You have a site template that are the basis for all the other sites in the module. And as you know, these site templates or master sites can be synchronized out to all the other sites. So when you do changes in a module, you do the master site change, and then you synchronize it all out to the existing and new sites. Now you can even further control the data on those modules. You can specify user access, user rights on the module sites, and that means you can, for example, restrict access to some content, or you can manage email alerts for users when changes happen on a site. You can manage which users should have an alert on that. We've also integrated an existing SharePoint feature with where you can let some elements be available offline using OneDrive, and that you can also control from the master site what should be available offline. Finally, you can now delete views that are on sites that are not on the master sites, so you can manage all the views on all the sites using the master site synchronization as well. The toolbar or the My Tools have now been enhanced with the ability to create tools with an underlying JavaScript command, so you can have specific, very customized features by clicking a button in the interface. So the user will be able to have a specific JavaScript command carried out by clicking a button, and this could be used for, well, pretty much anything that of specific needs, calling something or whatever. So that's a feature that will take a bit of customization to set up, because obviously you need to know about JavaScript, but makes it a very flexible toolbar. Those were the quick brief for the WorkPoint365 enhancements. More information will come out later at a later stage. Among these things will be a white paper describing how to set up the external users, so there'll be a guide for that. You will be notified when this is ready. We also release WorkPoint Express, the Office plugin. Some of the things we've described in the WorkPoint365 is also available here. That is the task list and the a new feature would be root site content. So looking at the image I have a list of what content on the root site, which would be, for example, the template library is now accessible through WorkPoint Express. Other content that you've chosen to put on the root site would be displayed here as well. So this has been hidden in WorkPoint Express. You wouldn't been able to access this through the Office plugin. We have changed the tab view settings. Until now, whenever you saw a site in WorkPoint Express, it would take all the content on the site, no matter whether it was displayed in the WorkPoint Express tab view, as displayed here. So if you had only a few lists on the tab view, but you had more content on the site, it would be displayed in WorkPoint Express with all the content. Now you can choose whether you want the WorkPoint Express to display all the content on the site, or whether you want it to display exactly the same lists as on the tab web part. In case where there's less information, less tabs on the tab web part in the browser, and the user will be presented with more information here because Express takes everything, it might confuse them a bit. So this should be over now. Of course, you can still choose any setting. Finally, some might not be be aware of the relation module. It's not a very widely used feature, but it's a very useful feature. Just to sum it up, so everybody's is in on what I'm talking about. The relation model is the ability to set up relations between elements in the system that would otherwise not be visible. Everybody knows it's very easy to see, well, there's a company here, and under this there's projects. They're all related to the company. But sometimes you have situations where you need to relate things to each other in the system that is not so easy to see. It could be that one project is related to another one, even though they're sitting on the same level here, but you could then create a relation to show that connection. The example here is used for stakeholders, also very common, that you need to register stakeholders that have some kind of influence to either a project or a case or a client or whatever. And then you can set up relations where the users can register stakeholders to a certain project or a certain company or something like that. And these stakeholders, of course, could be contact persons that were not related in any way other than to this project. Now, with this new feature, you are able to send out emails by right-clicking on the stakeholder group or individuals. So let's assume that you would have an important project where you wanted to notify stakeholders about a change or about a plan or something like that. You can simply email these persons by right-clicking and choosing a mail template for the email. Obviously, that requires that you have recorded the emails on all the contact persons, but this should be able to do just a few clicks, and the project manager will be able to notify all the stakeholders involved in this project. Relations can be used to a lot of other things, but this is just a stakeholder example. And that was brief on the WorkPoint Express. You are all aware of my contact details, so if you have further questions to all of this, we're more than happy to hear from you, or your partner or a reseller might also be able to help you with queries. Thank you for participating.